Fresh off their cup set over Atlanta United, we are chatting with head coach of Indy 11, Sean McAuley, up next. Stay with us, everybody.
Atlanta United, they need momentum. Struggling in domestic play in MLS. This is the type of game that gets you back going and then pushes you to a semifinal as well. For Indy 11, the precipice of history, looking to become just the third team in the history of the modern era to reach a semifinal from the USL Championship breaks. For context, Ray, only 2 in the previous 438 have been able to do so.
And now, Indy going here is a chance for Augie Williams! And the cup set is on as Indy 11 hit the front in Atlanta.
Atlanta United really struggled to find any sort of rhythm.
McCarty lifted in, the header on from Brennan, and what a save from Hunter Schultz. And the Indy goalkeeper up to the task. As Collier on the back post and will try and find him, and it's towards his own goal from McCarty. That might just have sent Indy 11 to their first ever Open Cup semifinal. Firmino, and one back for Atlanta, and there's still time to draw this one level. And there is the full-time whistle, the most famous victory in Indy 11's history. They've come to Atlanta and beaten Atlanta United by 2-1 in this Open Cup quarterfinal. They're into the semis.
Well, don't call it a cup set for Indy 11. Not when you're playing this well. What a run it's been for the USL side, including taking down the MLS side, Atlanta United, in the quarterfinals to earn their spot in the semis. Only one loss in their last 15 matches across all competitions. And right now we are absolutely delighted to welcome in the man leading the charge, head coach Sean McAuley. Good morning, Sean. Thank you so much for joining us. It's great to see you, my friend.
Good morning to you all, and it's great to see you, Susanna.
All right, let's go back to that big moment against Atlanta United. For you, thinking about your career, how special of a moment was that for you and for this club?
It was really good. It was a great night, and I was just really pleased for all the players, to get some recognition. All the staff, everybody who works behind the scenes, we've got a lot of good, hard-working people here, and we get a little bit of credit for the run we've been on, and now we look forward to a semi-final, which is fantastic for the club.
Sean, talk to me about this crazy run that you guys have been on. At what point during that stretch did you kind of realize that things were really starting to click with your team?
Do you know what, Susanna? During the run, I never really focused on what we'd done in the past. I was just looking at the next game, and then, it starts to creep more and more, and I was a bit worried that the players were concentrating on, maintaining this run than just concentrating on the game that was just in hand. But yeah, we really, I would say we got fortunate in a few of the games that we won. And then when the run finally came to an end, I believe we should have won that game more than probably all the others that we played in. So we're really pleased that we've got a momentum now, and we've got like a rhythm of play that we can sort of go into every game thinking that we can score goals. There's only been one game this season where we've not scored a goal, so we're pretty confident. But it's take each game as it comes.
Sean, heading into this Open Cup match against Atlanta United, and I know it's a new version of this U.S. Open Cup with some MLS teams being like, no, I don't think we want to play in this, or we don't want to play our players. Atlanta United wanted to win this competition because they haven't been in great form throughout Major League Soccer. So they're putting everything into this. How did you prepare your team for this big moment, and what did you see throughout the match?
Charlie, we prepared, by looking at the previous game that they'd played in the Open Cup. And we were unsure of which sort of side they were going to put out. And like you said, I think once you get to the quarterfinals, and now you're in semi-finals, I think the majority of teams think, well, this is a chance to put your hands on a trophy, and they're going to take it seriously. But so we didn't know exactly which 11. And, fair play to Rob, he put out a strong side, and we're really pleased because that was a challenge for us. And we prepared knowing that if we had a good start and a strong start, then the confidence could grow. And then at half-time, I thought we probably deserved, to be slightly ahead. But we knew that the second half was coming, and we'd be under a bit of pressure. And fortunately for us, we probably scored against the run of play our second goal. And then, all the other players that had probably been rested a little bit, because their schedule was tough, playing Tuesday, Saturday, 2 away games. They barraged us with a lot of opportunities at our goal, and I want to credit the whole team for digging in and just making sure that we got the result to get through.
Sean, prior to the season, there was so much discussion between MLS and who's going to play in the Open Cup and how important it is in the landscape of our game. I played for Lamar Hunt in Kansas City during my career, won a U.S. Open Cup with his name on that trophy. Is this about as good an advertisement as we can have for how important this competition really is in the U.S.?
I would hope so. And you know, I've worked in the MLS for 12 years, and it frustrated me a little bit that, you know, teams would sometimes, you know, not take it seriously and rotate the squad. And, you know, that's great for the players who maybe aren't playing as regular in the team. But I think every single player that wants to play the game wants to win a trophy. And, you know, from the point of view that you win 6 games, you win a trophy, it's really attractive. You know, and I can understand, you know, maybe some teams not wanting to be part of it because of the schedule and things like that. But there's a saying of the history of the Cup and the magic of the Cup and all them things. And I come from, obviously, the UK, where the FA Cup means a huge deal. And this does sort of bring back a few memories of, you know, the lower division club having a chance. And that's what we've taken and grasped. And hopefully we can show a good account of ourselves in the semi-final.
I love that, Sean. I want to get a little bit deeper into you as a manager. And when you're in halftime and you're saying the pressure is being piled on, what are you saying to your team? And what do you do even when you're up a goal? You're saying maintain that pressure. Let's try to get a second, or stay compact, wait for our opportunity.
Well, nobody really knows at halftime what's going to happen in the second half, because it's not being played. What you can try and do is read into what, you know, the mindset of the opponent is going to be, and being behind and being the team that's, you know, expected to get the win and expected by the high division team, we knew that we were probably going to have to play on the counter-attack a little bit in the second half. And I thought that we exploited that quite well. In order to do that, they needed to understand the defensive responsibilities. But my big message to the players at half-time was that they'd proved that they could compete, and don't go out in the second half thinking that it's a different game. It's the same game, and go out and be the aggressor and try and get a second goal.
Sean, talk about a couple of your players here. I see your roster's got some players with MLS experience. You got internationals. I know Augustine Williams, who got a goal. Martinez, I think he's a Honduran player. Give us some of these names that we should be looking out for.
I mean, we've got a really good balance of a squad, and, you know, everybody's done a great job in sort of getting the group together. We didn't start the season well, maybe because, you know, it was a bit of uncertainty about what the new coach wants to bring and things like that. Now we've settled into a good rhythm. Like I said, we've got Dougie Martinez, a Honduran international. We've got players that have played in the USL for a number of years, like Seba, Gonzade, Callum Chapman-Page. We've got Aidan Quinn, who's not played a game for us yet because he got injured last season. He was a real top player. I think he was one of the record holders of USL appearances. And then we've got some really good young players. We've got a couple of guys on loan from the MLS. And Lawrence Wooten from Chicago, so we're really pleased that they did that because he's getting good experience. And Hultus Holt, the goalkeeper, who's been fantastic for us and made a couple of great saves in the game. And we've got a couple of young players ourselves that we brought through. Josh O'Brien's done really well. And you know, we're really looking forward to you know, mixing all these groups together to become, you know, a strong team towards the end of the season.
Coach, I want to ask about life in Indianapolis and kind of what the soccer culture is like there. What if people are going to Indianapolis and they're going to go to an Indy 11 game? Like, what can they expect? What's the scene like?
It's great, Susanna. You know, the club do a really good job. We play in a stadium that's, you know, very, you know, family friendly. We have a lot of things that go on for the families that also, you know, during the game and you know, before the game and after the game, we really cater for everybody in that respect. And then when we look at the football aspect of it, we've got some really passionate fans. You know, we've got a really good supporters section that travelled down to Atlanta with us, and I'm sure there'll be quite a few that travelled to Kansas for the game in the semi-final. And they're really passionate about the football, and you know, we're fortunate that we've got that, and we need to now repay them with something that's good enough on the field for them to cheer about.
Sean, is it coming home on Sunday?
Well, you know what? Because of my accent, and I was born in England, I chose my allegiance towards Scotland as a player and played for the youth and under-21 teams. So, unfortunately for me, I'll either be commiserating with my fellow Scots people, or celebrating with everybody else who doesn't want it to come home. So we'll have to wait and see.
Fair enough.
I'll be with you on that side. I'm going for Spain too. We're together in this.
We'll enjoy drinking.
Sean, you've got, I mean, it's over a month until the semifinal against Kansas City, correct? How much do you think about it? I mean, are you just going to take it game by game, or are you starting to prepare for that semifinal match now, even though you've got well over a month out?
I think we will be preparing for it in terms of looking at the opponent and seeing who's in form, seeing what team they pick week in, week out, seeing, the different teams they may choose when they have 3 games in a week, that sort of thing. We'll look at that and make sure that the players are aware of, different, not so much systems of play because they're pretty solid in what they do, but more of the formations of the players that might change. And then with our players, we've got a few injuries that may come back into reckoning for that game. So it's a really good target for a couple of lads who've been out, like Jack Blake, who's been fantastic for this season, has got an injury, and Aidan Quinn, who's been out for a year. So it gives them a little target for something to aim for. So yes, I'd say we're preparing along with completing our regular fixtures.
Well, Sean, it's been an absolute pleasure catching up with you. So happy for you and your success. Keep it going. Best of luck the rest of the season and in those semifinals.
Thanks, guys. Really good to speak to you all.
All right, we are going to take a break. We are going to look ahead.